obey my commands at all times. Most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
That was Big Baby Miller last fight on HBO. If you don't know, he is signed with Eddie Hearn, Salida Promotions, and he says he promotes himself as well. He's 20-0-1 with 18 KOs. Let's go full screen. He is being rumored to be fighting former Deontay Wilder, former Alexander Povetkin opponent. Both of them knocked him out. Johann Duhaupas. I forgot where he's from. France. He's 37-4 with 37-4 with 24 KOs, as you can see right here. He has all these TBAs. Don't mind these though. I'm sure that these can be altered. But Big Baby Miller is supposed to be fighting this guy on the undercard of Jacobs versus Sulecki in Brooklyn on HBO. So it would be Jacob Sulecki, Miller, Duhaupas, and my understanding is that Eddie Hearn has signed Joe Big Baby Miller to be a potential opponent for Anthony Joshua. I had a chance to interview him several months ago, and he was talking about how Eddie Hearn had told him, I'm going to get you Anthony Joshua in the future. For the most part, I'm paraphrasing. You have to go back and watch the interview. In fact, I'll put it down in the link below, and if the fight becomes official, I'll do another video, and I'll play that video, that interview I was talking about, and we'll talk about it more in detail. But anyway, it's the way I look at it is, first, let me show you Johann Duhaupas real quick. This is him right here, by the way. This is him right here.
Duhaupas with an uppercut.
Duhaupas is ready to go.
The Wilder barrage.
Taking his stance, hitting that left uppercut at an angle, following up with a chopping right hand. Another look at it. Snapping back.
So when you fight a fighter that one of your rivals has already fought, Gerald Miller has been no stranger in calling out Deontay Wilder. When you fight somebody that one of your rivals have fought, then there's that extra pressure to knock the fighter out. Right now, if you I remember this, it was hilarious. What was that? Some sweet moves. That's the locomotion. It's the locomotion, but let's go look at the rankings so you can have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So, for those who don't know, I'm going to explain it again. Deontay Wilder is the WBC champion. Anthony Joshua, the IBF and the WBA. Joseph Parker is the WBO. Obviously, you should know that Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker are fighting for all three belts on March the 31st, with Alexander Povetkin fighting David Price on the undercard. This guy is, put it this way, Alexander Povetkin is Joshua's mandatory in regards to the WBA. Manuel Char, he won't be a mandatory anytime soon, right? Deontay Wilder's fighting Luis Ortiz. Deontay Wilder wants these guys. But it's complex. Let's keep this on Gerald Miller. As you can see, Gerald Miller is ranked very high by the WBA, but truth be told, that doesn't mean anything. His best bet to get a title shot will likely be through the IBF. I want to know what's going on with Kubrat Pulev, and I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, Eddie Hearn has been trying to make Gerald Miller versus Johann Duhaupas some type of eliminator of sort. After all, that's what Gerald Miller said that he wanted. And the IBF is very, very strict. So if you fight in one of their eliminators, you will get a title shot within the next year. And they don't care about no rematch clauses or none of that shit. So I'm wondering if maybe Eddie Hearn and Gerald Miller are trying to bypass the Pulev fight. We don't know what's going on with Pulev, by the way. I'm wondering if they're trying to bypass, this Pulev fight, right? And make Miller versus Duhaupas for the championship. Now, of course, you may say, well, wait a minute. Doesn't Eddie Hearn have Dillian Whyte too, and Dillian Whyte is fighting Lucas Brown? I think that Eddie Hearn is really trying to push for Dillian Whyte to get Deontay Wilder. you know, and Gerald Miller, you know, basically I think he's trying to keep those two away from each other. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think he's trying to keep those two away from each other. But people are going to shit on Gerald Big Baby Miller because, for one, he fought Maurice Wack, who is a very well-traveled heavyweight. You know, he's fought names like Klitschko, obviously, you know, Povetkin, you know, even these guys right here, these journeymen, Jason Gavern, Kevin McBride, who I know of, Christian Hammer, who just lost to Alexander Povetkin and beat David Price. So he has a very respectable resume, and this was a good fight for Gerald Big Baby Miller at the time. And also, he's been dealing with, you know, a little bit of inactivity with this, you know, from between Fred Kasi and Jared Washington. So fighting, put it this way, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, fighting Jared Washington, fighting Fred Kasi, Jared Washington, Maurice Wack, Johan Duhaupas, and then if he were to go on to fight somebody like an Alexander Povetkin maybe Alexander Povetkin, or, you know, or a Kubrat Pulev, that's a pretty heavy, respectable resume, and that deserves the title shot. So it all depends on, you know, what they're trying to do. But truth be told, I'm interested in Big Baby Miller versus Duhaupas, because Duhaupas is very active, meaning he's always fighting, and also he had that big upset of Robert Helenius, right? That was Robert Helenius he beat, right? And Eric Molina had beat Tomas Adamek. I be getting those two fights confused. It was Robert Helenius that he beat. So I'm interested in the fight more so to see how Gerald Big Baby Miller looked, because even though it was a stoppage, I wasn't really too impressed, and he was winning the fight. I wasn't really too impressed with his performance with Watt, you know. Even though he did put on a good performance against Jared Washington, I'm going to see how he reacts and what improvements he makes against a Johan Duhaupas, because he is selling himself, you know. And no telling what the future is going to hold for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, if the stars align that he becomes an IBF mandatory sometime within the next year, you know, maybe 2 fights, depending. Like I said, don't be surprised if Gerald Big Baby Miller versus Johan Duhaupas you hear is now an IBF eliminator, you know. TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. It's going to be taking place, rumored to be taking place April the 28th in the Barclays Center on the undercard of Danny Jacobs' return, whether it's Sulecki or not, you know. And also, to touch on that fight, there's going to be a lot of people there. Even though hardcore fans may not know who Sulecki is, understand that he's Polish, and Polish come to support their own. And in a big title shot, you know, in a big title, not a title shot, in a big, you know, fight against a guy like Danny Jacobs, who had title shots, a former champion, it's going to be a packed building with a lot of international fans, to say the least. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live of FightView360.com. Please subscribe. We're looking for help all over the place. You know, please check out my website. The link is right down below in the description box. You know, if you want to work in boxing in any way, shape, or form, whether you want to write articles, whether you want to help upload press releases, whether you want to, you know, go to events, whatever you want to do, please contact us. All you got to do is go either to FightView360.com. The link is right down below in the description box. Go to either the about or the contact section. My bad. Go to the about or the contact section. Leave your name, your email, obviously where you're from, your work schedule, because a lot of these press events take place in the daytime, you know. So you have to have some open availability to an extent. You know, of course, there's going to be money involved, depending, obviously, on your level of work. But in regards to expenses, those are going to be taken care of. TstreeT Controversy. Please subscribe. Once again, if you need to contact me through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't care. And also, for those who have contacted me, we're getting back to all of you. As you can see, we're making some changes around here. Things are, you know, like really, really, you know, going in a really positive direction. So join us. Please subscribe.